Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I'm your yarn host Jennifer, and before I do this, I have been asked several times what size hook I used for my sweater on Monday. To remind you, the sweater is the sweater I made out of the Color Out My Halo beautiful gorgeous yarn. I used a 6mm hook because I've been asked 100 times and I could not remember. Alright, now that's not what we're here for today, but because I was moving it and I saw that it was still there, I used a 6mm hook. Alright, let me move some stuff. Today my plan is we have a little bit of Happy Mail to show you, and also I wanted to crochet and talk with you guys. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get through the Happy Mail right quick. This is from Linda. I think that says California. Yes sir, California. I got a card that I stuck in here. So Linda sent me a card. The great thing about sunshine is there's plenty to go around. Isn't that the cutest little puppy? So she sent a couple of things in the box that have disappeared already because she put a hat in there from her job for Little Man, which is Tractor Supply. He was so excited. I actually opened this in the car in the parking lot of the mailbox, the post office. And he was reading over my shoulder, and she said, I work at Tractor Supply, and they have these meetings every year, and they will give you either a hat or a t-shirt, and she usually gives the hat to like the first customer she sees, so she opted to send it to my house. So I'm her first customer, she said. Little Man loves baseball hats, loves them. He doesn't wear them all the time, but he will wear them for like a good stretch, and then he doesn't wear one for a little while, and then he'll get a new hat and he'll put it on it. He likes baseball caps, okay? So he was very excited. She also put a keychain in there that looks like a California license plate with his name Lucas on it, and he was very excited to get that, and yes, it was spelled correctly. There's a couple things in here for Juju that I have not given to her yet. And she said the others are for me. And then she said the yarn went straight from the store to the box and stayed in her car. And I kind of laughed at that because I remember recently saying that usually when I get yarn in a box like this, I have to quarantine it for a little bit, just because there has been a rare instance where there's been bugs in my Happy Mail. It's only happened like twice, but it has happened, so I'm always very careful, and I think that's why she put that in the card, is that it went straight from the store to her car, so I don't have to quarantine it, but I think that's why she said that. So there's these really cool Mickey Mouse bags. These bags are made out of like a really thick plastic. It's not like care instructions: rinse, clean, and air dry. It feels like dog food bags is what this feels like. So they're super durable, and it's Mickey Mouse, which of course. I have tons of reusable bags. It took me a really long time to get into using reusable bags because I would always forget them, but now I have finally, after years, probably 15 years of actually trying to remember to bring bags when we leave the house, I have almost got it down to a science in remembering to grab the bags because I keep them all together. I shop almost exclusively at Aldi, or we also will shop at Lidl, which is like, in my opinion, Lidl is not as good of a version as Aldi. And then we have also recently discovered Trader Joe's, and a lot of places are also like banning plastic bags. Where I live in the city part, because I technically live in Fredericksburg, but I live on the outskirts in the county. So I'm not under Fredericksburg law, but like there's a border where you pay for plastic bags in Fredericksburg, and in the county you do not. and I live on the side where you don't have to pay for plastic bags. But I try to remember to bring my bags with me when I go anywhere. Alright, and then there's a little Hobby Lobby bag with charms. She said the mushroom charms are for Juju, which Juju is going to love these. And then there's Disney charms, which I'm going to have Juju turn into something for. These would make really cute earrings, but I don't wear earrings, but aren't those cute? And then Beauty and the Beast set. I believe Juju actually had these at one point and made a set for my sister of stitch markers. And this says the House of Minnie. And it's a locket. Super cool. So thank you for those. Juju has not really been doing any sort of beading or she hasn't really been making anything because she has a job. I don't know if you guys know this. She has an actual job in a store. And she said she thinks she may have ran across a cinnamon bun the other day or a subscriber to the channel because the way the lady reacted at seeing Juju, and then the lady like composed herself. So if you happen to run across Juju while she was working, you're allowed to say hi to her. She's not going to flip out on you. She's very professional at her job. But just don't fangirl. That would embarrass her to no end. I'm just saying that because she says, I really think it was one of your subscribers, because she was so excited to see Juju and then like was like, oh, I better stop because I have warned you guys in the past, Juju is very she's shy. She is she doesn't like the attention. You can say hi to her and say, hey, I know your mom. Like, that's normal behavior. You know, just don't be weird. But she's got a boyfriend. College classes are starting back up. Like, she's very swamped with life right now, and in the best possible way. Like, I fully believe these are going to be the best years of her life because she's starting to, like, bond with people in her work. She's really enjoying having a boyfriend, but not just the boyfriend aspect. Like, he's her best friend and she talks to him about everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, and she desperately needs that because living in my house is hard. I'm not gonna lie about that at all. Little man is loud and sometimes he's psychotic, and like it's not easy, and I am so happy she has an escape. And then there's a bunch of yarn that I'm gonna dump out because it's all wrapped in beautiful paper. By the way, this box was so pretty. The inside reminds me of Beetlejuice, which I'm here for, but the outside is like all watercolory. So, just do it that way. These are all neons. And neons are my favorite color, and neon rainbow is my favorite color. So isn't this beautiful? So we have a mix of I Love This Yarn from Hobby Lobby. I think I have this colorway. I think. Unless I put it in a mystery box, which is entirely possible. I need to find my Hobby Lobby. I have a Hobby Lobby box. I think I have this colorway. So we have even more to play with if that's true that I still have this colorway. So this is I Love This Yarn Neons in the color Dark Neons. And then also, I Love This Yarn Neons in the color Pink Neon. And I Love This Yarn Neons in the color, I'm guessing orange. Orange Neon. And then, Big Twist Value in the colors Safety Yellow and Green Gecko. So these colors are so fun. Thank you so much. Let me make sure I got the name right. I believe it was Linda. Linda. Thank you, Linda. Totally appreciate this. I'm going to put everything... Actually, I'm not going to put that back in this box because I will misplace something. We're going to put the neons over here. I have neons from Hirschner's somewhere over there. I see one. That's not it. That's a different yarn. They're up there. I'm going to put those with my neons from Hirschner's because I like to have my neons together. We'll talk about that in a minute. Remind me, in case I forget, because I'm probably going to forget, about goals, moving, sorting, and that sort of thing. I hope that I remember. All right, and then this card is from Kathy in Ohio. You're someone special to me. Kathy is Kathy Eileen on Facebook and Hooked on Yarn on YouTube. She said that she enjoys my videos and she enjoys when I share on a heart level. She said her heart connects to me on a deep level and she understands the no words. You are enough and never a burden, a beloved child of God. Just know you have someone who understands and cheers you on. You help me press on and stay positive. Much love to you and your beautiful family. Thank you. Thank you. She sent me some stickers. Now, if you don't know, butterfly is a symbol for lupus, which my mother had, and which several of you have suggested I get tested for because of current problems. And then the flowers are so pretty. Whenever I see a butterfly, I think of my mom. Now, I've told you guys in the past, like, I have very mixed feelings about my mom. There was a part of my mom that was angelic and she was perfect and she was an amazing mother, and there were parts of her that were evil, and that was mostly due to her addiction to opiates. But I still, whenever I see a butterfly, I think of my mother. Like, that's specifically the yellow swallowtail. Like, that's my mom. And the reason I say that is because we were moving to Virginia, and we knew we were moving before she died, and she said, don't do it, don't move, like, you'll regret it, because I was going to move to Texas. This is her story, this is her telling me her story. I was going to move to Texas the year before my mom died, and I'm so glad I didn't move, because I wouldn't have been there when she died. And this was the summer before my mom died. She told me this. And I was like, whatever, like, way to put on a guilt trip. We ended up not moving to Virginia then because a lot of things were not falling into place for us. Financially, we were struggling real hard. But also, the housing is ridiculously expensive in Virginia. Like, it's expensive here. It really is. Like, I'll put it into perspective. The house we were living in was a rental house, and they probably paid $80,000 for the house. It was a beautiful house. It was 3 bedrooms, no basement, anything like that. It was just all one floor, but it was a really nice, quaint little house for our family of 3. And when we moved to Virginia, the first house we rented in Virginia was valued at over $200,000. So, yeah, we couldn't afford it. And they were not offering Mr. Cinnamon good pay to move here for the job that he was being offered. Like, $50,000 a year is not going to pay for that house. And it just wasn't going to happen. And they offered him a better job the following year, which is why we were able to move out here. So, how did you get that? I locked it. As I hear the lock scraping across the floor. She died November 19th, a month before her birthday, on December 19th. She died. Nobody expected it. I think she knew. She had an overdose. That's how she died. She had multiple drug overdose was her diagnosis for her autopsy, but she was right. I probably would have regretted it had we moved, and then she died that winter. So the next summer popped around and we got a better opportunity for a better job with way better pay, and we were going to be able to survive off of that and rent a house and pay the bills. And I'm not gonna lie, that first year was hard. It was real hard. Why am I talking about all that? I have no idea why I got on that subject. My mother. I was talking about my mother. But yeah, when we moved from Michigan to Virginia, it was a hard trip. We broke down in Breezewood, Pennsylvania. The rental U-Haul truck that we had rented, which actually wasn't U-Haul, it was a Penske, had popped 2 tires. And yeah, it was a bad, hard trip. And Juju was all of 5 years old. Just lost my mom like months before. I was walking away from my business. I had a photography business that was everything to me, and I walked away from my husband's dreams. That was really difficult. Because that was the first time I had a sense of independence and purpose in my life. And the cat was in the car with me. The dog was in the car with me. I was driving by myself because he was in the truck. And I had a lot going on in the car. And it was stressful and it was scary. And I kept seeing yellow swallowtail butterflies flying across in front of me on the drive. And I felt like my mom was giving me permission. And that's why I equate the yellow swallowtail butterfly with her. So, yeah. Alright, this box is from... I know there's a card in here. This box made me so stupid happy. I know there was a card. It's right here. It's a letter. It's a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. This is from Jean. She said, it's up to you whether you wish to mention it on the channel. It's not necessary. It is. You know why it's necessary, Jean? Because I don't feel worthy of being sent such amazing gifts, and I want to personally thank you and say, hey, thank you. I feel like this is a face-to-face thank you. That's why I do the Happy Mail videos, and I know some people hate the Happy Mail videos because, like, whatever, like they're boring or whatever. I do the Happy Mail videos because every single person that has stuck something in a box or a card or an envelope for me and paid money to send me something to cheer me up, that is worthy of me making a video and saying thank you personally. So that's why I do this. She's mentioned some personal stuff in here, but she said, I heard that you like the Unger fluffy yarn, and she came across some of the fluffy yarn and decided to send it to me. Okay, now, this is all purple and it's all beautiful. And I still have my other Unger out that was sent to me last week. You guys probably have no idea about this yarn. This yarn's old. This yarn is from before there was barcodes on yarn. So this is like from the 70s, early 80s. Okay. Why do I love it? I don't know. It usually is, well, this yarn is probably as old as I am. I was born in 79, okay? This yarn is just about as old as me. So you think, because when I think of yarn from the 70s and 80s, a lot of times it's that god-awful Orlon, Sayel, early Red Heart Super Saver, and it feels gross. Okay? This is brushed acrylic. It's ridiculously squishy. And it always smells old because it's 40-year-old yarn. Okay? I don't even care because I know that this stuff washes up beautifully. I hand wash it, okay? 100% acrylic. This is, now, up until this point, I have only seen, where are the rest of them? They gotta be in the bottom of here. I have only seen the regular fluffy. What did I do with them? Did they fall? Yes. The regular old fluffy. Okay, so this is just, it's a solid color yarn. And then in the last package that I was sent, there was fluffy tweed, which looks like that. It's more of a marled than a tweed. And you can see it's picking up stuff from my yarn basket. So I'm going to say this is more of a marl than a tweed, because tweed has little bits on it and this does not, but I didn't know they made anything other than the regular old fluffy, right? So this is the fluffy tweed, but this is one step further, and this is fluffy ombre, which just means it's different shades of one color, because back in the day, ombre literally just meant almost a self-striping type yarn. Isn't this beautiful? So this is like shades of purple with almost like blue. So it's like a pastel blue. And usually that comes from when you try to dye with purple and the purple breaks. You'll get like a light blue mixed in with the purple. I think this is so pretty. It's so pretty. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 of these and these are made in France. Francois. 156 yards times, what did I say, 8? Yeah, 8. Where's my phone? 156 times 8. Clear. 156 times 8. That's 1,200 yards. I have enough here to make a whole sweater. So, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Isn't that beautiful? Now, I know that there's brushed acrylics on the market right now. Last year or the year before, Red Heart released a brushed acrylic that I actually purchased and liked it, but I think I got rid of it in a mystery box because it was sitting there and I didn't use it. So I know there's other brushed acrylic. What is a brushed acrylic? Okay. I don't know how they make the brushed acrylic, if they actually brush it, if they take like just a regular old piece of acrylic and they run it through wire bristles. I don't know how they get the brushed effect. Okay. But when you knit or crochet this up, it has the look and appearance of like a mohair type thing. And actually, when I first made a shawl out of the fluffy Unger mixed with something that was called faux mohair. And they went beautifully together because it was the same type of brushed acrylic yarn. And the shawl was just, first of all, the stuff is really lightweight, but it looks thicker because of the fluffiness on the outside of the strand. It's just is beautiful yarn. I like the way it works up. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to take the smaller ball and I wanted to work up a swatch with my crochet hook to show you why I like this yarn, because I know some of you are like, what is so special about that old stanky yarn? I'm about to show you if I can find the center pull. This is a partially used ball, and you can tell because the inside would white. Oh, I forgot. The box from Tractor Supply also had Bill Jacks in it. These are the dog's favorite snacks, okay? They smell god-awful. Watch how fast we get Bentley to pop out of his bed. Because I smell them the second. Come here. Up. Up. They're his favorite. All 3 of the dogs love the Bill Jacks. They stink god awful. These ones are the peanut butter bananas. So it's peanut butter and banana flavored. They don't smell like peanut butter or banana. Well, maybe a little bit banana. But I used these when I was training. Can I have a kiss? Thank you. Wait. I used these for training with him in training classes. You're really drooly. They're that good. Are they that good? Thank you. They have chicken liver, chicken meal, wheat flour, which means mommy would get so sick if I ate these. Glycerin, a bunch of other crap, natural peanut butter, banana. Oh, it's got rosemary, and green tea and spearmint for your breath. These make your breath stink though, so I don't understand. Can I have a high five? Thank you, sir. Can you say thank you? Good boy. One more kiss. All right. Go lay down. Because, oh, now Mama stinks. They're his favorite. So he's very excited. And actually, when I brought the boxes, you're scratching Mama. Go to your bed. When I brought them in yesterday, the dogs did not get a treat box last month. I buy the Bully Make box every month for the dogs. And they didn't get one because I didn't like the theme, so I held off. And I actually emailed the company. I was like, can we just hold off? She's all, well, if you're having trouble affording the box. I was like, I just don't want it this month. And I know this is probably stupid, okay? This sounds a bit Karen-ish. The box was, it was drug related. It was, what is that TV show with the trailer and the guy from Malcolm in the Middle? You know what I'm talking about? It was themed off of that TV show. And I need a small hook. I just was not, I didn't want anything that was drug themed in my house. I'm gonna be real honest. I am really, really sensitive to the fact that my mother overdosed and that's how she died. And I'm very terrified that someone in my family is going to be afflicted because I come from a long line of addicts. A long line. And more people in my family have addictions than don't. And that is a huge fear for me. So I was like, I just don't want anything in my house that is, and that may sound stupid, okay? It's dog toys. I just didn't want it. And so I didn't have their box come in last month. I just grabbed it's a G hook. I think that's 4.5. And I just didn't want that in the house. Do I have glasses in here? I had glasses in here. I don't know what I did with them. It'll be fine. And because of that, they never got their treat box last month, which they're getting one in August. And I don't know what the theme is, because apparently when I emailed them and told them not to send me last month's box, they stopped sending me emails. So I didn't even get a theme for this month. But they said that the box had shipped. And when the box comes, I always give it straight to the dogs. Because it's their box, you know. And Scarlett has it. Scarlett is an American Staffordshire Terrier. She has a big, powerful jaw. She grabs the box and carries, and it's pretty heavy, and she carries it to the living room, and the 3 dogs immense at ripping the box apart. They only do that with their Bully Make box. They do not do it with any other mail. They just don't. But yesterday, because they hadn't gotten their July box, and this box smelled so strongly of those Bill Jacks, I came into the office and I set down the packages, and immediately all 3 dogs were in here sniffing and trying to get into the box and like trying to get at it. So I immediately had to open up the bag and give dog treats to the dogs because, you know. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with this little sample we're working up because this yarn does not frog. It does not. It's very fuzzy, and it will absolutely lock on itself. And yeah, so this may just be a swatch that, you know, doesn't really have a purpose, because I don't think I'm going to be able to frog it at all. I just really wanted to show you a little sample of the scarf. And I know you guys probably can't find this on the market, but if you see a yarn that is fuzzy, like, don't discount it because you think you're not going to be able to see the stitches. If you're a beginner and you don't have good stitch definition recognition, stay away from fuzzy, fluffy, or furry yarns. But if you are a more seasoned, or you really understand where the stitches are supposed to be, don't be scared of this yarn. I feel like I need a bigger hook because I feel like this is compressing the stitches a little bit. I may have to get a bigger hook. This recommends 4mm hook, but I know that when I made the shawl, that's just single crochets. When I made the shawl, I used almost exclusively 5.5mm. So I'm going to do double crochets next. Alright, so now, thank you for reminding me. We're getting back to the neon yarns and the storage and what I was going to tell you guys earlier. Alright, so you guys know, we are planning on moving next summer away from the city. And I really just want a little piece of property. I don't care. Honestly, if we were able to find property and put a trailer on it, I would be perfectly content with that. Like, not a trailer, but like a small manufactured home. God, my fingers stink. Yucca. That's yucca. The dogs love those dang treats. We took our first step towards that goal this week. And Mr. Cinnamon got a small storage unit. And we've already put a couple of things in there that we're trying to, the goal is to clear out the house some for a couple of reasons. Clear out the house to do repairs on like the floor in the hallway. Because you guys know we had water damage from the toilet and the floor is about this far elevated in just 2 spots from the water getting under the wood floor. So the floor absolutely needs to be repaired. And the bathroom door and the closet door need to be replaced because we tried to repair the floor and we could not get the floor up and out to replace the slats. So we just took off about 2 inches on the bottom of the door for the bathroom and the infamous closet. So we have a big gap under the bathroom door, and if you laid on the floor you could look under there and see who's in there using the facilities. Matter of fact, I went to go use the restroom last night and I pulled the door to close behind me because our downstairs bathroom is just a half bath. It's like a water closet. It's real small, right? I had just come home and I immediately, whenever I'm out and I come home, I immediately have to go to the bathroom and tinkle. Like, I don't know what it is. I pulled the door and Bentley rammed his head so that the door caught him in his neck so that he could come in the bathroom to watch me pee. Which caused Mr. Cinnamon to laugh hysterically, but he's a big boy. When he stands on his hind legs, he's either as tall as me or taller than me. He's a big dog. And he laid on the bathroom floor while I peed. And about this much of his feet were in the hallway under the bathroom door. Which is just hilarious. So Mr. Cinnamon, who was on the couch, is laughing at my dog's feet sticking out because it actually scared him because I had to go. So I swung the door hard so that I could get in there and do my business, you know, because I'm not real good at holding it. My son, he destroyed my ability to hold my bladder. That pregnancy about took me out. He definitely caused damage. You smell the treats? She went right to the box. They're not in there. Let's make Mama's hands smell even worse. Oreo, Scarlet, Bentley. They're not real good at catching. I don't know if I can get... Okay, there's Oreo. Sit. You can't see her because she's lit up. Oh, she's right there. Don't bite me. Did one go under my shelf? Scarlet, sit. Back it up. 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 Sit. Right here. Sit. Any snacking tool? Good girl. Oreo's an old lady. She doesn't really have to do many tricks to get treats. Shake. Thank you. Oh, I got 3 shakes. Alright. That's it. All gone. All gone. Out. 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 Good girls. I have no doubt that they'll be back. So, we took the first step by getting a storage unit to get the house cleared out. Can I tell you what a relief it was just to get that storage unit? Now, we have way too many holiday decorations in the garage, and what Mr. Cinnamon started to do to clear the garage out is just moving all the holiday decorations out. I was like, whoa. We got Christmas and Halloween coming up. When Christmas and Halloween is over, we can move those things into the storage unit. Right now, we need to work on stuff in the house. He's like, well, what exactly do you want? I was like, oh, I got a list of stuff I want to go through. But I have not been feeling real great. You guys know I've been in a lot of pain. I've had a lot of weakness is more than anything. Well, no, the pain has been pretty bad. And so I was like, you just got to give me time. Like, you got the storage unit, like, good, but like this, we're going to have it for the whole year. This is going to be a process. And he's like, all right. I was like, first thing I'm going to go through is my books. And he's like, well, I can just put those on the tub. You guys have no idea how many books I have, okay? I have been sent hundreds of magazines and books. Hundreds. Crochet and knit. Now, I want to go through and be realistic about what I'm going to use. I'm going to sort through. I'm going to have a pile, and I'm not throwing stuff away. I am going to recirculate these things back to either thrift stores or more specifically like craft reuse stores are going to get those kind of books. But I also have my novel set from Grandma, which I'm not going to ever get rid of that. And even though she didn't purchase that book set for me, she went out of her way when she saw that that book set would mean something to me, because I was going through those things in life, the big move, the change, dealing with things changing and them being out of my control. The book series, the Red River book series from Lorraine, I think it's Lorraine Snelling, they were there when I needed them. And she knew, because she's been through a lot of those things. She was a military wife. She just knew. And so my mother-in-law actually had them. So she called up my mother-in-law. She's all, if you still have those books, bring them over for Jennifer. She needs to read them. And my mother-in-law gathered them up like that she didn't care and just brought them over. And they are, and I was so mad because my sister, who came to live with me when the girls came to live in Virginia, it was right after we purchased. It's like she waited for me to purchase this house, and then she's all, oh, I'm coming to live with you with the kids. And because it was the girls, I'm not going to turn her down, you know. But I told her to read the books, and she took book one, read a couple pages, and left it outside, and it got soaked in the rain. So I don't have book one of the series anymore. So I'm going to probably replace that, because those are books I will absolutely reread. Right now we're focusing on the Vampire Knitting series, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. I'm on book 3. It's Crochet and Cauldrons, and I am having a hard time sitting down and focusing on a book right now because there's a lot going on, and I've been crocheting. I've been crocheting for my mental health. Let's be real honest about that. And I have a ton of photo albums from mostly when Juju was a baby, because when little man was born, everything was digital. And I just haven't printed any of the pictures of his childhood. Like, I have the first 2 years, but everything is digital, and it's on my hard drives. And I want to go through, and it's not going to be anytime soon, and I want to print off books of his life through the years. I've also done a lot more videoing than just photography of his childhood. But I don't want him to grow up and like me die and him go through the stuff and be like, why is there 8,000 pictures of Juju and none of me? Why there's 8,000 pictures of the girls? Because when you came along, everything was digital, child. That's why. It's not because I didn't take pictures. Alright, so we got 2 rows of double crochet. And I do think that this needs a bigger hook because it's feeling a little dense to me. Let's see. What have we got? That's too big. It's too big. La, la, la. Every hook in this drawer is 5.5 because it's my favorite, I swear. Every hook. Try. Oh dang, that's a 5.5 millimeter too. Found a 5. I'm just gonna go up a hook size to see if it makes a difference, because that's looking a little, I mean, that would make a beautiful sweater, don't get me wrong, but when I made the shawl, it was like light and airy, and this is feeling a little bit dense. Yep, that's better. So much better. Can you get out of that box? Back row behavior. So, anyway, that's what I was talking about with the neon yarns, is I want to go through over the next several months and really think about what yarn is coming with the move and what yarn is going to go into mystery boxes. I even thought about doing a de-stash on some of my expensive yarns because I have way more than I'll ever use. And I have an entire bucket of already caked up wools. And some of them I paid $30 a hank for. And I was thinking about doing a de-stash with a lot of those for raising money for the move, but also to de-stash so I don't have to move as much. Because I swear just my amount of craft supplies will take up a whole U-Haul, and I just don't want to do that. So I was thinking like doing a whole container of just neons, like neon acrylics, and then a whole bucket of my Christmas yarn and a whole bucket of Halloween yarn, and because I tend to decorate the background, which that looks so dark, but it's so pretty in person because it's all the Halloween yarns. So I tend to keep like pinks and reds together for Valentine's Day, or fall colors together for Halloween. Yeah, the bigger hook size made a difference. So whereas this is more dense, and I know it's hard for you to tell, but I can feel the difference. The stitches up here, which are shells, is much less compressed. So the bigger hook is the winner. I dare say I would probably even use a 5.5 or 6 millimeter on this hook. But again, that storage unit was like a big step towards my goal. I don't know. I feel like there's this horrible time crunch happening in my life that if I don't do it now, I'm not going to get to do it. And I think the reason of that is my mom died at 53. Her brother died at 53. My godfather died at 53. My grandmother died at 53. My dad died at 60. And I'm 45. And even Juju has brought that to my attention because she's well aware. She said, I'm so terrified you're going to die at 53 like your mom and everybody else did. And I'm like, baby, I'm not a drug addict. Like, my mom died because she overdosed. And I'm trying my best to take care of myself. Like, I'm working really hard to not make that, to live longer. I'd love to live into my 70s or 80s. I'm trying my best. I don't know why Days of Our Lives is in my head. I haven't watched that show in 5 years. Do any of you still watch Days of Our Lives? When they pretty much took Days of Our Lives off of the air, like, and put it only on the internet. Actually, it's been longer than that. I was like, I'm not going on the internet to look for a soap opera. That's not gonna happen. And I used to watch it a lot. I don't even remember what the storyline was last time I watched it. I don't know, when you start regurgitating ideas from the 80s in a TV show, I'm like, yeah, I already saw this once. I don't really want to watch reruns of Days of Our Lives. Doesn't sound interesting to me at all. So, yeah. Using that bigger hook helped. It doesn't feel as dense. So you see how this looks like a nice thick fabric? It looks warm and cozy because all the little fluff like fills in, but because it's so fluffy and because you use a bigger hook and the fluff fills in the gap, you can actually have a warmer project that is lighter weight, because this yarn like weighs nothing. Like this weighs nothing. But it makes a really beautiful, and I'm telling you, I think I'm probably going to go up to a 6mm. I think that will be even more pretty and more open, and it will really show off the mohair look. And I don't think I'm going to be, oh, wait a minute. I might be able to frog it if I'm careful. It already stuck. It was like, no, that was it. It's like, no. We're just, we don't want a frog. That's the real downside with this kind of fluffy yarn, is like, can't do swatches because like you just wasted the yarn. I'm gonna make this work though. I'm gonna pull it apart. I'm gonna use a bigger hook. I don't know what I'm gonna make with this, but I'm gonna definitely make something. But yeah, so stitch definition. What I do is I feel for where the stitches are supposed to go, because I can't see them either. Especially because like I can't see this right here without my glasses. But also like it's really hard to see because of that fluff. But I'm telling you, 6mm hook, I think that's what we're gonna use. I'm really excited about the prospect of moving towards those goals, but like there's so much to do between now and next. I'm just glad we thought ahead, and because every time else we have moved, we have waited till the last second. We're like, oh, like we're gonna move, but like when we bought this house, we bought the house in May, and our lease was not up until August, and that guy was a real jerk about it. Like, we had other people lined up to move in and take over, and he was like, no, I'm doing it through a management company, and they need to, and like, I had people with good credit lined up, and it was a set of two, like, it was 2-generation family that were going to live on the top floor and the bottom floor. Really nice people, and no, he was a real jerk. He wouldn't give us our deposit back because, and the laws here for tenants is terrible. Like in Michigan, they're really strict tenant laws, and if the landlord doesn't do X, Y, and Z within a reasonable amount of time, you automatically get your up to 3 times your security deposit back. Which we know because we've had to fight somebody, and she was like, oh no, there's cigarette burns in the carpet. And I was like, well, that's a little hard to believe because we don't smoke. Like, come on. She even went and got a lawyer and everything, and we still won that case. Because my husband went in there, he's like, nope, this is the law, and it's very clear. And we will settle for you. I'm not going to sue her for 3 times, but if you give us our security deposit back, we'll walk away. That lawyer was mad. He was so mad, but here, they ain't got none of them laws to protect tenants. And that guy knew it, the landlord. He knew it, and he kept our security deposit because when we first moved in, there was a hurricane that flooded the bottom floor, and the carpet got stained, and we told him the flood is out to the freaking fireplace, like the whole basement. And I was down there with towels and mopping up off of the carpet, and he did not do nothing. He got mad at me that when 2 years later, he had to replace the carpet down there. I was mad. He left his camera there with his proof, right? I was looking through his camera. I was like, I need to reformat his card right quick. And he gonna try some crap with me. And Mr. Sim was like, leave it alone. Just leave it alone. We're done with this house. We're done with this guy. I was like, but if I format his card, he's got nothing. He's stupid enough to leave his camera in my house. And I didn't touch it. We just walked away. He kept the security deposit. We were done. That was such a stressful time for me. But we've had a tendency to wait till the last minute for moving, cleaning, preparing, all that good crap. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm too old for that. I don't like the stress of that. So, I am working so hard to save this. I'm like, nope, I'm not letting it go. I'm not cutting and clipping. We're not doing that. And I'm just trying, like, I'm trying to do as much as I can. So when the selling of the house comes and moving, it's easy. Like, if we have a lot of stuff in storage, the house will sell faster. And it'll be easier to get, like, work done on the floor and, like, have somebody come in and paint. Because I can't reach. Outside this door is a foyer that goes up to the second floor. And we have 9-foot ceilings. I can't reach 20 feet up in the air to paint by the ceiling. And I wouldn't anyway, because I won't even stand on a chair. I'm scared. So we're going to have to hire painters to come in and paint the house. And I want to have professional cleaners come in and clean everything spotless. Clean everything up real good. Then have the painters come in so that the house is move-in ready for whoever wants to move in, because if we do enough, we can make a profit on the house, and that will help to buy the next property. And I'm so ready to move on from this house in this neighborhood that I dream about it almost every night. Everything in my world is telling me to get out of here, because this is not, this neighborhood is not, it's not mentally safe for me because the neighbors are crazy. Well, some of them. Some of my neighbors are amazing. I have a family next door on that side. They're amazing. I told you that their mom has Alzheimer's real bad. And really, really nice people. And then the people across the street, Craig and Sandy, are super, super nice. Craig is a pharmacist at the Walmarts. And I don't know what Sandy does. But they're just really, like, they welcomed us the day we moved in. And they have been super nice to Lucas. And I don't know. They're just nice people. It's only really two of the neighbors I can't stand. It's the old lady. Well, it's not even the old lady next door, because she was fine until her daughter decided to have children. And then the daughter thinks she owns the entire world and that everybody needs to just, you know, let her children do whatever they want. I don't know. I raised 4 kids, okay? And I'm raising a special needs kid. And if my kids, if I could teach all of my kids with all the difficulties I had with behavioral issues and trauma and all that, if I can teach them to be respectful of other people's property, you sure as heck can do the same thing. You can teach them to be respectful to the neighbors and not, like, tease the dogs through the fence. Like, my kids never did any of that crap. Because I'd have been on them. But no. Her kids can't do no wrong. They're allowed to do whatever they want. They're allowed to break my fence. And then, your fence is broke, you need to fix it. Tell me how many times that's happened. I can't even count. Can't even count. Because he insists on climbing on a fence that's not in that great shape to begin with. And, you need to come fix your fence. And that's why there's cameras over there, because they're constantly breaking my fence. Or teasing the dog till the dog's pushing on the fence and then the fence breaks. If you left the dogs alone, the dogs would not be at the fence at you. I'm almost frogged it. Dang, I've been talking through a whole battery. We've been talking an hour already? Why are you telling me to shut up? But yeah, I'm super excited about, just taking that first step towards getting out of here. I'm not even joking. Like, I dream all the time about the next house. Just all the time. I dream about what the house looks like. I dream about, for some reason, there's always secret rooms in my house, which would be a dream. Like, I would love to have a secret room. Webster ruined me, like, growing up. Like, Webster ruined me. Was it Webster? Was it Webster the one with the secret rooms? Like, I've always wanted a house with secret rooms or secret passageways, so I dream about that a lot, which is weird. But mostly I dream about just the prospect of being on land and having open space. And the other day when I told you guys the story, little man slammed my hand in the car door. I took Mr. Cinnamon out because one night was a really, really bad night. Little man was just out of pocket. He was psychotic. And when he gets like that, he tends to aim all of his negativity on me. And I needed to get out of the house and get away from it and let Mr. Cinnamon parent, you know, because it's me parenting 80% of the time because Mr. Cinnamon works. And I don't get a break. I don't get out of the house, you know. And so me and Juju jumped in the car and I just drove to someplace I'd never been before. And it was out in the boonies and it was down a dirt road and there was nothing but trees. It was my dream of what my property would look like. And there's this house that's being built down there. And Mr. Cinnamon doesn't like the idea of trees. Like, he wants wide open land. I want trees. Like, I want deer to be in the tree just outside my house. Or even a bear. Like, a bear wouldn't bother me being out there. We just have little black bears. Can they do damage? Yes. Am I scared of them? No. Because most of the time they're just looking for food. And if you don't bother them, they ain't gonna bother you. You know, like, grizzlies are terrifying. Black bears, not so much. And he's building his new house. But there's like an old shed-like building there. And then there's another little... It's just an outbuilding. And there's a good amount of yard, but then his property is just lined in cedar trees. Now, I'm not a big fan of cedar trees, but can you just imagine? Like, the birds and, like, the wildlife, and you got enough of a yard for, like, chickens if you wanted. Which I know, foxes and bears and stuff will eat your chickens, but, like, I do know all these things. I'm on the last row, guys. I saved the yarn. We could turn it into something else. This almost would go with this, so it also goes with the other colors I bought. I just didn't want to waste it on a sample, but I did want to show you what it works up like. So, because I went there with Juju, I have been bugging Mr. Cinnamon for the past several weeks. Can we go back so I can show you? And he's like, well, yeah. And so he finally, like, agreed, and we went for a drive out in the country. And I was like, and he's like, this land is really expensive in this area. I was like, I understand that, but this is what I want. Not here, that way. I want to be out away from the city. And he's like, all right. Like, him and I have different ideas, but I'm going to be real honest. Like, I've sacrificed a lot for his dreams, and it's my turn. And I'm going to be selfish about that. It's my turn. I'm contributing to the household a lot, and, like, it's my turn. I deserve something in my life that I dream of, not just making his dreams come true. Which I have done happily and willingly, but it's my turn, you know. So, it's a stupid storage unit to some. To me, it's a step towards my dreams. And with that, my battery told me to be quiet, so I'm going to let you go. I'm going to finish this up, and I'm going to upload the video. And I will see you in the next one, whenever that is.